Hiya guys, I've just been talking to Dean, who's been an absolute fucking angel and a rock. And I have to say, he is being an absolute angel and a rock. And he said those ultimate words: I'm not letting you go through this alone. You know, you don't need the stress, the kids don't need the stress. And I've been trying to explain to people, it's like, imagine COVID, yeah? It's completely invisible, but you're being told it's all around you and it could get you. And all of this stuff and all of my paperwork, as I've been trying to unsettle my house and provide a space for somebody with my physical body to be able to sit down and write. If someone like me was in a university setting and I was taking an exam, how I function in exams would be taken and accepted as a reasonable adjustment. When you're dealing with these people, they don't care about trauma, they don't care about your budget, they just care about following orders. And that order is an inventory of goods to be taken into control. That is the exact sentence that is done. It is an inventory of goods taken into control. I had this done just before Aaron and Faith were taken. I stand by what I believe in all of this, that if you do not have the money to pay for your debt, your children are part of your debt. And I believe this still goes on. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. But either way, I never abuse my children, and I have never ever caused all of the repercussions that have come on me as a result of being in a state of trauma after my children were taken, constantly like a headless fucking chicken, looking for help and guidance. And I have been given so much information that now is the time for me to digest all of that information, which is what I've been doing today. I'm going to go and take a walk over to the courts that I know I can't enter, but I just want to prove I can't enter it, and actually get around that not entering. Because in front of me, I need a physical injunction form for the Queen's Bench. I need it in front of me to work on this document. It's how I work. I need it in front of me. It's paperwork. I'm dyslexic, I'm Asperger's legally. This is not my forte. This is not my area. It's not my gift. I have to work on it. I need time. I need to work on it. My time frames, not theirs. Not with the bullying and the threatening. Dealing with this man at my door is like dealing with domestic violence. He can assault me, he can threaten me, he can bully me, he can intimidate me, he can take my possessions away, he can do what he likes to me. He can rape me against my consent, basically. No one's going to force me into suicide. I don't care who you are. I will battle it, mate. I don't care how much you make me feel that I am powerless right now. I will battle it. I don't care how many people try to tell me I can't do something. I will battle it. Because I don't have a choice right now. Yes, there are beat the bailiffs and there are letters that I can do, and I need to be accessing all of this right here, right now, and doing this because these people are not achieving what they're trying to achieve. I do not have the cash to hand them, and they shouldn't be taking it. They shouldn't be doing this. What, for a £35 ticket, they want to take me $2,500 off of me? No, I've never had an opportunity to go to court because, as I've said, literally, I've just gone on the electoral roll, and people are now catching up with me, and I need time to process this stuff and deal with it. Not for bully boys to be at my door, not giving a flying fuck about how far I have come in the last 6 years since being here in Portsmouth. Nobody's taken nothing from me. And you know what? If they come in here and they take it, well, my car's worth 350 quid. Yeah, I pay £190 to keep it on the road for insurance and tax and all this fucking bollocks. So someone like me with a physical condition can get out when I'm entitled to Motability. I'm entitled to independent personal payments. I'm entitled to be sick living on benefits. I'm entitled to debt management. I'm entitled. It's not entitlement, it's our human rights. They're violating my human rights to get my shit together. And every time I get my shit together, they come and knock me out. And I don't want to deal with you one by one anymore, like he said. He doesn't give a shit about all the other bully boys around me. He doesn't give a shit about all the other people putting me in a fucking boxing ring. He doesn't give a shit about the fact that I'm under a management plan with social to bring my life back. He doesn't give a shit that I'm actually trying to build trust with these people. He will burst that bubble and sabotage every work on my trauma and put me in a suicide fucking battle, mate. No, 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 no. What did the girl say in the labyrinth? You have no power over me. You will not put me in fear. And when my children come back at 4 o'clock, I will not be worried or stressed or projecting any of this onto my children. My children have a nice time. And I will know that Dean will be in this house. Nobody will touch me. Not with him in the house, though. But what can he do? Nothing. All he said is, I've got to work on this document. So I'm just going to literally make a brew, go for a drink, try and find my hat, because I'm not going out without my hat. Go wandering off around with this piece of paperwork, so I am actively seen to be doing everything that I should be doing, while hopefully getting this email and document over. And I'm not dealing with this one issue now. I'm dealing with a whole fucking 43 years of fucking neglect and abuse and violation of my human rights to me and my children, and sabotaging my relationship with my family, sabotaging my relationship with my marriages, and defamating, discriminating. And it's misfeasance, malfeasance, non-misfeasance in public office. And I was taught that by a solicitor, so fuck off to the people who take the mickey. When I got to London and they went through my paperwork, he sat and he wrote all the notes. I didn't know what those words meant, and I Googled it, and I've learnt it. Now I've got to apply it. And it's fucking scary as shit to go back into the same courts that Pete took my kids, that tried to commit me to prison. But now I've got to go and explain to them the truth, what I never ever ever got to present before. And I've even put it up on Facebook. I've shown you. They said EDS was the easiest condition to claim to have, and classed me as an abuser. Wow. If I was an abuser, mate, every single person who had touched my kids would have been killed by now. They're lucky to be alive. I hope they've got as many grey hairs as me since all of this. All I can say is all through 2013, when I first arrived down at Downing Street, when I became just another parent like all of you, to an already existing desperation plea of parents. And I carried my suitcases on the train hopping, and you know, I was tucking my knickers inside my bag, wasn't I, to say I can't get in my bag to get my ticket out, so they would let me go. And I was train hopping desperately. But I am glad, one thing that I did, despite all of the evictions that I've been through, staying at people's houses, moving around for all of that time, sleeping in a car, I am so glad that I kept every fucking piece of paperwork, because due to their freedom of request, a lot of this information won't exist. The social worker when I was 15 called me attractive in a street corner kind of way. Do not believe her lies. Can you imagine how I was treated as a teenager, desperately asking people for help on what writing and... It's about time more and more of you were less ashamed of the pain that you suffer and start explaining to people. You don't have to go, you did this to me. You just have to say, you know, when you did this, it did this to me, and it made me feel like this, and it put me through this. And write that down, what it did to you. And don't be ashamed of what it did to you. It's called being human. It's called having feelings and emotions and not always understanding what that means. And when someone hurts you in some way, we become the one that feel. And a lot of people get locked away in their own shame and their own humiliation and worried. Some people don't even want to go to invitations of parties because they don't necessarily know how they can deal with something as simple as someone not liking their dress, what they should wear, how they should appear, what they should turn up like. And even if you turn up like as yourself, it's going to be somebody that doesn't get you. You just can't be knocked down by it. I'm 43 and I still have to learn to deal with that. At 43. Most of us got bullied at school. Most of us had a hard time at school. Most of us never functioned into the proper real world because this country is too busy focusing that trauma is about sexual, physical and emotional abuse. It's not. There's so much more to it. People have talents, gifts and passions that they're not sure that they can share with people. They're not even sure they're even good at something. And someone might say, take singing for an example. Someone might really feel like they got a voice. It only takes for someone to go, oh my goodness, and you never sing again. So love the things that you love and do it with people that love it. And let the people that don't love it go and do the things that they love with the people that they love. And just let us all get on in peace. Not being fragmented and being whole. Oh shit, hang on. 2 seconds. Seconds. I absolutely shit myself then because I thought it was them coming in, but it's Stuart, so I need him to actually do me a favour. Hey Stuart, oh, you looking dashing today. Look at you. Oh God, yeah, is that the only time you put a suit on? I tell you what though, do us a favour while I'm in trauma, not knowing when these people are coming back. Play your music louder when you come in, so I know it's you. Because when I hear your car coming in, I think it's a police car or a bloody their van, because they've still not done it. I didn't let them in. It's only a parking ticket. £2,300 they want, or a possession order of my house. Well, I thought they were going to do that yesterday. They haven't done yet.
That's what they do now. They clamp your vehicle, and if you want your vehicle back, you've got to pay the money. If not, they'll take it.
Well, I'm going to Queen's Bench because they've done it at Queen's Bench. But yeah, but I'm bouncing out, checking the cars every 2 seconds. So play your music louder and I know it's you. Clamp my car next.
So you pay the fine, if not, they take the car back.
It's all right, they've already taken 3 off me since I come off Downing Street. I'll still rebuild, mate. They can take it. They've taken my kids. I still rebuild. Right. Still rebuild. I'll still rebuild. I'll still rebuild. So, they could clamp my car. So, basically, I'll go back on Motability then. Can't clamp my car then, can ya? Well, looks like I've got to make sure I do all this because I'm not paying £192 for my insurance for these freaking 6 points and £800 fine for nothing. For what? For apparently not attending court. Well, how the fuck am I meant to know when I have been going through house after house after house after house after house trying to get my shit together, and I'm now settled and it's all going to come at me? Brilliant, fantastic, let it come at me. Let the letters come through the door. Let me gather up to where exactly I am right now. I'll give you a date to send me exactly how much I owe you, including you, Lisa Bartle, yeah? Because you're certainly not my fucking priority right now. So, and even in debt management that I'm still trying to go through, but these people are not actually issuing it. And this is the problem. Every time I've written to every debtor and said, and I went as soon as I got to Save the Family, this is the first thing I did. Because Stephen left me with mountains of fucking debt, mate. He left me with all the fucking debt. It all went in my name. And I wrote to everybody to say that I was currently at Save the Family. I had a 2-year contract there to get my shit together, and I was aiming to come out into this position. And I needed a date. And that date was the 7th of January there. And I'd asked Social to meet with it, to do it all for January. Leave Christmas alone, let you all have your Christmas. I was being respectful, mate. I was being respectful to understanding that Christmas was a bit difficult time and people were busy. So I left it until January. And in that time, my kids get taken, my life gets spiraled out of fucking control. And yes, I'm forced to live in a fucking car, and I get parking tickets. And yes, I've parked outside Downing Street, and I've done it for every fucking person. Yet I'm the one taking the consequences for everything that we ever did as a campaigner. I'm the one that's taken the nails in the fucking coffin, who's gone out and spoke out for every fucking family that this is happening to, while people can't even come on Crackbook in their real names. Well, my name is Kellie Cotton. It's my married name. Yes, I was born Kelly. The tattoo on my father's arm says Kelly with a Y. I am Kelly Ann. I have been married. My name has been legally changed by Depot when I was 13 to Kelly IE. And, of course, seriously, it's going to do my nutting. And it is a white van, but I know whose white van that is. That is Amazon delivery, because he's here pretty much every few days. Amazon? Yeah, Amazon. It's the... We are! That's what does my head in. No, we are not. So anyway, I can't fuck about anymore because they continue the ball rolling until I stop the ball from rolling. I'll be committing an offence and a risk of further fine or imprisonment. All I have is my life. That's all I have. So anyway, I'm wearing my battery down and I need to go over to the courts quickly, and then they'll give me a telephone number to ring to make an appointment. I've got to go in and somehow get a form printed up. All I need is the injunction form, and I'm going to put it over to the Queen's Bench, and literally in that injunction it's going to set out my boundaries, my thing, what I'm dealing with, what needs to be done, what freedom of requests I need, what paperwork needs to be omitted, and then into the judicial review to prove the neglect of me each time I've gone into hospital, and then into the criminal side of it with the fact of what they did to Aaron and Faith, omitting them orders, and then back into a compensation judicial review and working out how much compensation they owe me. Multi-fucking millionaire just in compensation, mate. These people are fucked and they know it. So anyway, thank you for the opening to Queen's Bench and kicking my ass.